everybody. In this video we're going to take a look at how to defeat the Act 3 boss, the Awakened one, using a moderate to medium upgraded Watcher. This video was originally going to be a continuation of several others doing elites and bosses as well. I ran into a little snag with that and ultimately lost that game. And so I tried to duplicate this particular seed as best as possible all the way up to this very state. However, doing 49 rooms turn for turn exactly the same way, a little bit tough to remember. So there are some considerable differences between my loadout here and previous ones of this string of videos. Most notably, my relics changed a little bit. I lost my Bloody Idol, which allowed me to heal when using potions. That was probably the biggest issue that I had here, is I lost my heal mechanic, so I didn't get a chance to heal every time I use potions. That hurts quite a bit. As an alternative to that, I ended up picking up the Frozen Eye, which is a hugely popular relic. Is the trade-off worth that of being able to heal with the potions? I had a lot of potions. I would have had essentially 50 things of heal, so that would have been nice to have, but being able to see your exact deck as it comes up with the draw mechanic and the scry, it obviously is very helpful for a fight like this. But other than that, most everything is the same. The incense burner might be on a different turn at this point, so I don't know how that would have looked going into it. I don't know how. It's not like I was going to time that out to a specific turn. It's on a specific rotation. I can't do anything about that. I really don't have power cards, so the mummified hand doesn't come up too often. And then the potion belt was the same as I had before. To start things off, I have 3 miracles due to the holy water, and I also get extra energy coming out of calm as well. These are mechanics that I had the same. My deck is mostly the same. It still has the same upgraded strikes and defense. It still only has one way to get into Wrath aside from the Indignation. It still has the Alpha. I have 2 Ragnaroks. I think I only had 1 the last time around, so that's a little bit different here. I have 2 Brilliances. I had that last time. I had the Reach to Heavens. I only have 1 Flurry of Blows. I believe I had 2 of those the last time. So a couple of cards are different, but most of it is pretty much the same. The level of upgrades, I don't know if they're exactly the same, but they're pretty equivalent. So going into this fight here, the Awakened one is a tough boss fight. He's probably one of the more difficult ones, if you ask me. It's not any more easier or difficult with the Watcher than it is anybody else. The main thing is it is a quick, it's a burst check to see if you can get rid of these guys, and then it's also a balance check to make sure you can absorb the defense, or the attacks with your defense. Things to keep in mind though, like any other boss or elite fight using the Watcher, you have to really pay close attention to your Wrath and not get stuck in Wrath. We obviously want to be in Wrath to do as much damage as possible, but you don't want to get stuck there. So because I have the Frozen Eye, I can actually look to see where I'm going to get Wrath. And it actually doesn't look like it's till mid to end of the deck. I'll have Indignation here and Eruption here. So I don't have a lot of options to begin with. So really it's just a matter of what can I do to get off to a good start. These guys have to get killed. So Ragnarok's going to be great to do that, but it's going to be half the damage of what I would have wanted it to be. And it's random too, so I can't pick and choose. So the way that I'm going to open up this fight here is I think the best option is to spend some of these potions. The reason being is a couple of things. One, I have the ability to refill all of my potions. So that's 5 free potions once I use these other 4. I want to get off to a good enough start where I'm not holding onto this and just bleeding health here and there. So to kick things off here, I think it'll be important to at least play the power one, get a power card, see what we have. So start each turn with a Smite. I do like the damage from that. Deva form, so gain energy and increase it. In the long run, this is going to be an excellent one to have because we won't ever run into an issue with energy draw. I think having this, because of the number of 2-cost cards I have in there, this one here will be a good end game one. And then this here, whenever I enter Wrath, draw 2 cards. I enter Wrath so infrequently that that's a waste of a card. So I think this is the best option. Go ahead and we'll play that. And then because we're going to start doing some attacks, I think we should start looking at actually playing our Strength card. So that's free damage. Looking over the Blessing of the Forge, I don't really have a ton of stuff in my deck that needs to be upgraded, so I think upgrading these miracles is a smart play right off the bat. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. So now I have a lot of free energy here. Play the top 3 cards. I could wait for this to be a better position, but to be honest, it's not going to matter because my Wrath cards are so far down. I want to get out there and play as many cards as possible to kill those guys, to kill these guys, because they will only cause problems in the long run. So I'm going to go ahead and play the top 3 cards in my deck. I already used my Strength Potion, so I'm getting the maximum I can out of my damage. The last card I played was the Cut Through the Fate, I believe. So I'm going to get this Fury of Blows here because that's more free damage. And I'm going to spread the wealth a little bit. Now I'm going to Focus Fire. Being that this area isn't doubling up and doing 22, there's not going to be a ton of overkill on any attacks. Alright, so we are currently at a defensive state now. I can play Ragnarok. However, let's go ahead and get the rest of my potions, see what's out there. Alright, another power card, great. Another strength, even better. We definitely want strength. Apply 3 vulnerable, I definitely will take that. So vulnerable on him, just to whittle his damage down. Stance Potion, fantastic one there because I can go into Wrath now. Let's go ahead and do that. Power card, yes please. At the start of your turn, gain 2 mantra. Gosh, this is a pretty weak set of power cards. I think this one will go long enough where I feel like it's going to go 5 turns. I'm going to end up getting 10 mantra and hitting divinity, so may as well try it once. I've never really built a mantra deck, so I don't know how good it's going to be. But now, let's see what we can actually do here. So the one thing I don't have is I don't have the ability to get out of Wrath. So let's get rid of Alpha, play that. Ragnarok, we're going to do, yeah, see, this is a hardcore attack now. I want to make sure that I'm playing this as best as possible, so I don't want one of these 32s going on that guy, so I'm actually going to play Flurry of Blows on him. He gets hit twice. That's going to be a good round for me. Okay, not too often you're going to get great starts like that, but it comes at a cost for sure. That cost is dealing with his attack. So what else can we do? We can get some block. We can get an insight to draw cards. That's great. Our last potion, choose a card in the discard. Yeah, absolutely. So because I'm not hurting for energy and because it costs 0, let's just play Ragnarok again. 32 times 6. Get us past this first hump. So that's a... I don't think anybody could have asked for a better first turn because we just totally wiped them. We're still in Wrath. He's not attacking on this turn. There's really nothing I need to do. I wish I could retain these, but I can't. So may as well just play these and then head on into phase 2. So now I have to be cautious though because I don't have any potions, I don't have any safety net whatsoever. So now I definitely cannot be caught in Wrath because this here, that's bad news. So what do we want to do? We want to deal damage. We want to block. We want to I'm going to keep this free one and use this one here. Use our flurry that came up. And then we may as well throw beta in there. I don't know when omega is going to come up. Not for another several turns. Looking forward to my next turns. I do have nothing fantastic. I got a couple of really boring turns come up where I have to really focus on blocking or I'm done here. So I have quite a bit to get through, and my next yeah, so I will have Wrath in 2 turns. So it's going to be tough. I do have block. I do not have a lot of block coming up. So it's going to be, I'm going to be at the mercy of what he chooses to do. So this, I believe, is his big attack. He's going to hit me for 36. I can still take that. I can't get out of this. However, I can exit my stance for sure. Because I'm going to get that 1 card back. There we go. Follow up to gain extra energy. Brilliance, deal a little bit more there. Strike, deal a little bit more. And then I can go back into Calm. Deal a little bit more damage. He's still going to hit me for 36 minus the 8. Not the end of the world, but I am going to need a pretty solid turn coming up here. I'll have the insight, that's good. So I'm going to get these 5 cards plus these 2. Wish there would be 1 more draw card because I get the extra insight, but it looks like even that it's only a strike and a block, so not a big deal. Alright, so let's go ahead and end this turn. He's going to hit me for his 36 minus my block. I'm at 23 now. He's got 36. So in this case here, we are going to block and scry. I can scry and dump 3 cards. I don't want to dump 3 cards because I want that extra attack. Because it's going to be a 0 cost. So let us focus on attacks. So let's get into Wrath. Fury of Blows. Sands of Time. Yep, we do the insight to get some extra cards. Crush the Joints. Get vulnerable. Extra damage there. Free attack. All garbage ones. I'm going to take this one and get the block from it. Because I don't have any block right now. I will gladly take the block. It's 18. Wish I had a little bit extra strength, but I'll take 18 block all day. Okay, 7 block and scry. I want to see what the next turn's going to allow. Insight, strike, defend would be what I could discard. And then meditate, eruption, omega, strike, strike. So I could, if I keep this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tough. Ragnarok will be on the next turn after that. So as long as I don't die, should be alright there. So we are going to take our block. Take our block. I'm actually going to leave all of these. I don't want to lose any of those, so I'm not going to discard any. We're going to go back to Calm. Take our last little bit of 6 damage, 9 damage because he's vulnerable. He's going to hit me for 36. I got it totally covered. Should be in a pretty decent spot. Mantra I don't think is going to hit yet. It's going to be another turn for Mantra, but that we actually bought ourselves a free one because we ended up with the Incense Dispenser. So it's always nice when that comes through and saves the day because now I technically don't have to leave Wrath, although technically I do as well because I'm going to play Meditate to get a couple of cards back, because I'm going to use Meditate to get Ragnarok back. So let's attack him. Boom, boom, boom. He's going to be dead. There's no way he can survive this. Omega's good for 50. So 2 cards, Strike, and Omega for 50, and it's game over. And that, folks, is the Awakened one. So you can see that relics obviously play a huge part of this fight. Having a couple of at least rare relics, that ultimately what it comes down to is I definitely recommend you don't shy away from fighting elites, especially in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. My general suggestion is your fighting elites should be Chapter 1, fight 3 of them, Chapter 2, fight 2 of them, Chapter 3, fight 1 of them. You need to get a bunch of those. You need to get 6 of those relics, because you're going to get good ones like this Incense Dispenser. You saw that one save me. That probably saved me 40 damage right there because of that 1-hit turn that he was going to have. And then things like the Frozen Eye, you saw being able to plan out your deck. You cannot put a price on this. The vendor could. It was like 150, so it costs 150. I mean, that's the price for it. But that's a huge item. And definitely don't hoard your potions too long, especially on boss fights. Try to keep a significant stock of those, especially for harder fights. I generally suggest using potions for elites, but they're certainly valuable in boss fights as well. And you saw here I had one that filled all my potion spots up. Without that, this probably wouldn't have been a win, or at least a much more difficult win. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave those below. Otherwise, we will see you again soon.
Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.